What's up, guys? Good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Roma against Cagliari on a Monday night again. We're playing on a Monday again. I have nightmares about Monday night football. I don't know what it is, but we never seem to win on a Monday night. There's a reason behind this, by the way. And this reason does not play in our favor. Well, it doesn't play in Cagliari's favor either, but it's a problem that happens whenever you don't own your own stadium. The Six Nations of Rugby are on, and Italy played Scotland this afternoon. And apart from that, it was absolutely hailing it down with rain today. So I can't even imagine what the pitch will be like on Monday night. It will not only be destroyed by the rugby, but it will be absolutely depleted by the rain as well. So the thing which worries me the most here is injuries. Is absolutely injuries, because we're already injury prone. I feel like every new player that signs for us gets injured in this injury curse. If you add on to this, if you allow these players to play in potato fields, they're going to get more injured. So I'm a bit worried for this on Monday. But having said this, there is no other result possible other than a win on Monday. And in fact, I'll say even something else. If you don't win on Monday, I think we're 100% out of the Champions League race in the league. Absolutely. And I truly believe this. Now, somebody is saying go watch the Genoa game. What's happening in the Genoa game? Because it's Napoli's winning it, okay? Genoa was winning after 3 minutes, and Napoli have now turned it around, which further proves the point. If you don't win on Monday, you're not catching the rest. You're not catching the rest. And I will put an emphasis on this. I truly believe that in the next games, we need to go on a sort of momentum run. You need a win on Monday. You need a win next weekend at home against Cremonese. And you need points in Naples against Napoli. Other than that, if any of these 3 games has a defeat, I think you're out of the Champions League. Effectively, what I'm saying is, out of the next 3 games, if we lose one of the next 3 games, or don't get full points between Cremonese and Cagliari on Monday, and get a draw minimum in Naples in 2 weeks, we're out of the rest. You're not catching the rest. You're simply not. So we need to start building some ground in a sense that you need a consistent run. We're at that stage where we've tried to push, we've tried our best, we've failed many times. If you don't go on a consistent run, which is what Milan have done since game week 1, which is what Inter are starting to do ever since November kicks started, which Juventus are doing ever since Spalletti came in, eliminate the Coppa Italia nightmare that they had this week. It's the Coppa Italia. Napoli are a consistent team with and without their injuries. You're inconsistent. So in order to get top 4, you need to be consistent. You need to become more consistent. And I mean, yeah, having said this, there is no other result than a win on Monday. You lost against Cagliari a few months ago. It was December, I believe. And you lost against them I still think, what was the worst game of the season. I remember that game. I remember that game very well for various different reasons. Number 1 is Foloruncio is an absolute dickhead. And I'm very, very unhappy that he won't make it tomorrow, because apparently he isn't fit, because Foloruncio is a dickhead. And I remember that game because of the Hermoso and Foloruncio incidents. But I also remember that game very well because I still believe to this day that was our worst game of the season. And we've gone through some brutal ones this year, like we do every season. It's part of our DNA. But if I look at all the games that we've played this season and lost, I honestly think the Cagliari one was the worst. People will say Udinese just because it's fresh in their mind. Cagliari was worse. Cagliari was worse. I don't think in that game against Cagliari we managed to enter in our opponent's box. I do not remember one shot on target in that game. One shot, let alone on target. So you lost against this team. And I must say, Cagliari, I don't think we're going to get relegated. I would love for Cagliari to get relegated this season. I really would, because coming out of that first game against them this season, I absolutely despise them. My godmother is actually from Cagliari. Hopefully she's not watching this. But I honestly pray the Lord that Cagliari go down. I don't see how Cagliari go down because they're very good at grinding points. They beat Juventus a few weeks ago. They beat Fiorentina in Florence when Fiorentina was picking up some form. They beat Verona 4-0 last weekend. Like, they're living a good moment. They beat Torino in Turin. They're not living the worst of moments. Am I worried for Monday's game? I'm not worried in a sense that I can't see us lose. I can't see us not win, not just lose. I can't see us not win. But I do think it would be a very big mistake to underestimate them because they've played good football in recent games. And Cagliari, I have a problem with Cagliari. Cagliari are a very good team when it comes to making you nervous. And I find a repeating pattern that whenever we don't manage to unlock games early in, and whenever our opponents then turn on nerves against us, we never win them because we get nervous with themselves and with ourselves, and then you never manage to turn them around. And this is exactly what happened when you faced them a few months ago. Like, they played a good game, yes, they played better than you, but they managed to pen the game on the nervous part of things, and you were very nervous in that game, absolutely, and you didn't win. Because I say this because Cagliari have got a lot of bastards, not only for Loruncio, but you remember they've got Mina in defense. Now, if you don't know who Mina is probably the bastards of the bastards that football has created. So, especially with a striker who is half his size like Malin, I expect Mina to kind of to be a bit boast. You know what he does. You know it happens every time with Mina. Free money on Mina getting a yellow card. Like, free money on Mina getting booked. Like, that's free money. That's free money if you like betting. Mina always, especially when he faces teams that are better than him, with players who are technically better than him, he knows that he can't really do much on a technical and tactical point of view. That he pushes it on the nervous side of things, and he makes these games very heated. So, yeah, I expect a very hot game in a sense, like a very nervous game. But, I mean, we need to win, and I do think we will win. But I don't expect a massively open game. I think if we win this, it's going to be a 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 win. But we have to win. We need to win. And I do think we will win. Hopefully, I haven't just jinxed this. Big mention to Palestra, who is definitely their best player. Against us in the first game, he was unbelievable. He was absolutely unbelievable. And he's been unbelievable this season. I think Palestra is... If I were to create a top 11 of the Serie A as of now, I would definitely put Palestra as right back. Absolutely, without thinking it twice. He's a very good player. Coming from the Atalanta youth setup. Gasperini knows him very well. He's somebody who pushes like hell. Like, we would love a player like Palestra in our team. But other than that, who do they have? Esposito up front. Yeah, I mean... Okay, not the good Esposito. It's the other brother, not Pio, of course. Well, look, how are we coming to this game? We're coming from a defeat, and we're coming from a very bad defeat. We're coming from a week of total rest, which is why I expect you to be up there in terms of intensity, something that lacked in the Udinese game. I expect to be up there, to return to that rhythm and intensity that you left in the Milan game and somehow you forgot to bring in Udine against Udinese. I've said this after the Udinese game. You need to exploit this month of February where you don't play in Europe and you don't have the Coppa Italia. You need to exploit this like mad. Like, I would argue that this is your number one tool to try and get a miraculous top 4 via the league. You need to exploit the fact that Napoli have got the Coppa Italia. Juventus play in Turkey against Galatasaray. No, sorry, maybe the other again. They're playing against Galatasaray. I can't remember if it's home or away. 3 or 2 days before they come in Rome against you at the Olimpico. If you don't exploit this, you're not going to get... I don't think you're going to get top 4 either way. But I would say that your last maybe attempt is if you really exploit this good month where you're playing once a week and you're playing both Napoli and Juventus, which are the 2 teams that you need to challenge against. It's now or never. I think by the end of February, we will 100% know if we'll be playing in the Champions League next season or not. Because, as I said, February will see us play some fairly minor, I would say easy games in bracket, but with us nothing is easy. And the 2 direct encounters that will basically determine everything. Because in February you play Cagliari and Cremonese at home, which needs to be 6 points without thinking, without looking at it 2 times. And then you play Napoli the 15th. And you play Juventus the 1st of March. Let's consider it as February, even though it's March. So, out of the next 4 league games, in my opinion, you need a win against Cagliari, you need a win against Cremonese, and minimum, you need a draw in both the Napoli and the Juventus game. Ideally, you need a draw and a win. But if you lose any of these games, you're out of the Champions League race. And I would definitely say go all in the Europa League. Do I think we're going to win? Do I think we're not going to lose all 4 games? I highly doubt it. But as I said, this is where you need to be good at making yourself superior compared to your opponents, considering you're only playing once a week. And you're playing on a Monday tomorrow, on this week. Then you're playing on a Sunday. So you've got a full week to prepare for that Napoli game. And Napoli playing the Coppa Italia midweek. And then you play Cremonese on a Sunday and play Juventus again on a Sunday. So you've got 2 full weeks to focus on 4 games. 2 and 2. I've said what I think needs to happen in order for you to continue the Champions League race, even though, as I said many times this season, I just don't see us getting top 4 via the league. Okay, my predicted 11 is as follows. Hermoso apparently is out for this game, so Ghilardi starts with Indica and Mancini next to him. In the middle, Kone is still injured, so Elanawi and Cristante will play. Chilik and Wesley on the flanks. And up front, some sources were saying that Dybala is ready for this game, but he hasn't trained with the group today. And I must say, coming from an injury, which was a minor injury, absolutely, but coming from a minor injury and playing on a pitch, which, as I said, people don't look at that. Trust me, on Monday, the pitch will be devastated. Like the pitch will be broken down like we've never seen it before. We've never seen it before. I have a friend who's massively obsessed with rugby, plays rugby, follows rugby, was at the stadium today and sent me some pictures. That pitch ain't safe. That pitch ain't properly ready for a football game to be played in less than 48 hours. Rugby games destroy a football pitch. Add on to that, it's been raining all day in Rome today. Like, you don't want Dybala to play in those pitches. Like, honestly, and people will go, well, Simo, stop saying stupid things. It's not stupid. I would like to remember you how Dybala got injured last year, which kept him up for the end of the season, by backheeling the ball, passing it to somebody, and he literally broke the tendon of his knee. So you do not want Dybala, fit or not fit, to play on Monday's pitch. So Soulé starts, Zaragoza next to him, and Malin up front. That's going to be it, and that will be it. Zaragoza needs to start. I expect a lot. Unpredictability. I keep on saying and referring back to this concept because it's the number one concept that isn't working at this football club, which is our problem. We don't have unpredictability. Brian, not Cristante, Zaragoza, mate. I said this with Bailey and I looked like an absolute idiot. I'm going to say it with you. If you're watching this video, you're not. But if you're watching this video, you have got the keys to change our season. I said this with Bailey and I looked like an idiot, but I truly believed in what I was saying. You, mate, you, Brian Zaragoza, mi amigo Españolito, you have got the tools to make us a better team single-handedly. Now, this is, I'm not throwing responsibilities on you. I'm not throwing pressure. I'm saying that you can do something that nobody in this team does or has been doing for the past 3 years, which is getting that ball, taking an opponent on a one-on-one, and making yourself into the box by dribbling, turning around, shooting, all of that good stuff that players like Cagliari does, okay? And I'm not comparing the two, of course. I'm just giving you an example. You've got the keys. I've seen your clips. I know what player you are. So, if I'm gassed. I'm gassed by his debut. I'm very gassed. But at the same time, in fact, you know what I'm going to say? Just to spice things up. He's going to either score or assist on Monday night. And I will put my face and say this. Brian Zaragoza will score or assist on Monday night. Clip this and we will speak in the match reaction. Anyways, let's read a few comments. Cristante and Celik are only good in defense. Both don't produce anything in attack. Better start with Pizzilli and Wrench. What's wrong with Angelino? He is back from the injury but excluded from the Euro. Oh yeah, also, UEFA list updated. Bailey, Dovbyk and Angelino are out. Robinho Vaz, Donio Malen and Zaragoza are in. So that's our updated UEFA list. Answering two questions. Number one, what do you think of Robinho Vaz getting injured after 2 weeks of his arrival? And not being available for the next 2 weeks. What do I need to say? Like, what do you want me to say? I don't understand how football players can be this fragile. Like, I'm not I work out, I play tennis, okay, not at a massive level, but I'm honestly fine 363 days out of 365. I don't understand how players that we sign get injured instantly. Like, I don't know if this is a curse or whether they've never trained before and started to train under Gasperini and they get... I honestly, I don't know. But the fact that Robinho Vaz got injured and is out for the next 2 weeks is worrying. Especially because we've got nobody else up front apart from Malen. Ferguson, I don't know what's happened to that guy. Like, ever since I met him on a plane, he vanished away completely. I don't understand how football players can be this fragile. Like, you're professional sportsmen and you get injured more than my fucking grandmother. And then what else? Oh yeah, Angelino. With Angelino, I think that, I don't know, because people say he's back, then he gets excluded from the UEFA list. Honestly, you want my take on Angelino? Do you really want my take on Angelino? Which is it's a brutal take, but honestly, I mean, what are we doing with him? Terminate his contract. Like, what is the use of keeping Angelino, who has clearly had something this season that nobody knows about? Adding on to this, he's not been included in the UEFA list, which further proves to you that something ain't right. Just part ways. Why are we keeping him? Like, what is the use of keeping him on a bench and not using him? Vaz got injured, yes. Will Pellegrini get a renewed contract? I said it. If both Pellegrini and Dybala accept to half their wages, both of them will get a contract extension, whether you like that or not. I truly believe that Pellegrini needs to go, and the fact that we're negotiating a contract extension for Pellegrini is depressing. But I've said it. If Pellegrini goes to the club and says, I'm willing to take a wage cut, They're gonna offer a contract, absolutely, 100%. What else do I need to say? Yeah, I missed a few comments. Sorry. Simo, you should do the not cutting your hair until we win 5 games in a row challenge. Jokes aside, that guy's actually gonna cut his hair next week. I'm never gonna do that. But we were saying this on the fan forum a few days ago. If we win the Europa League, I'm gonna get a buzz cut. That's my hair challenge with you guys. Not a zero buzz cut, because I will never do that. That is my biggest nightmare. But a very, 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 very short hair cut. That's my bet. And I've been growing my hair ever since last May, so I'm liking myself with long hair. But if we win the Europa League, I'm gonna get a buzz cut. That's my challenge. I've officially released it. What's the chances of Italy getting 5 UCL spots? I think very low. Okay, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. No, maybe not. Tomorrow Gasperini speaks. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a press conference reaction. Otherwise, I'll catch you on Monday with a match reaction. Hit the like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff down below. Trust me, it supports the channel and the video a lot. It helps sling the algorithm. So click all the buttons, leave some hype points, do all that good stuff. And mate, what to visit in Milan. The train station back to Rome, mate, honestly. What to visit in Milan. Honestly, I think you can see the city in 30 minutes and then leave. It's boring as hell. Just go visit the Duomo, eat something, and get back to Rome or wherever you're from. There is nothing to see in that shithole. There is nothing to see in that shithole. And everything that you need to see is like a 2-minute distance from each other. It's like you visit the square, you look at the cathedral, you turn around, and then there's that sort of like gallery. You have a walk in there, maybe buy something, sit down at a restaurant, eat something typical, and then honestly, mate, you can honestly fuck off. There is nothing else to see in that shithole. The Olympics are on as well. Nothing. Just Milan is so overrated. Don't waste your money in Milan. Come to Rome. You'll have way more fun. Or anywhere else in Italy. But Milan is honestly a shithole. Honestly. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. See you out.